Hi, and welcome to Simple Books with Sheridan. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to read your BAS statement step by step. We'll go through the main sections, what the labels mean, how to understand whether you owe money or are getting a refund, what to check before lodging, and how to avoid common errors. If you've opened your BAS and felt overwhelmed by labels like G1, 1A, 1B, W2, or 5A, you're not alone. Many small business owners feel unsure simply because no one has clearly explained what they're looking at. By the end of this video, you'll understand the structure of a BAS and feel more confident reviewing it. Before we begin, please note that this video is for general information only. It doesn't take into account your personal or business circumstances and shouldn't be relied on as financial, tax, or accounting advice. If you're unsure how BAS reporting applies to your situation, it's always best to speak with a qualified professional. So, what is a BAS statement? Your BAS statement is a structured summary from the ATO. It shows the reporting period, the labels you must complete, the totals reported, and the final payable or refundable amount. It does not calculate your business results from scratch. It relies entirely on the accuracy of your bookkeeping. Think of your BAS as a report card for your GST and other obligations for that period. If your bookkeeping has been consistent, the BAS simply reflects what has already happened. The first thing to check is the reporting period at the top of the BAS. Common quarterly periods are 1 July to 30 September, 1 October to 31st December, 1 January to 31st March, 1 April to 30 June. This is extremely important. Your accounting software reports must match these exact dates. If your BAS covers July to September, but your sales report is showing July to October, your numbers will not reconcile. Always confirm the dates first before reviewing any figures. Most BAS statements follow a consistent layout. The GST section, the PAYG withholding section, the PAYG installment section, and the summary of amounts payable or refundable. Once you recognize these sections, the form becomes far less intimidating. You don't need to memorize every code, you just need to understand what each section represents. If you are registered for GST, the GST section is usually the first area you will focus on. The main labels are G1 total sales, 1A GST on sales, 1B GST on purchases. These three labels form the core GST calculation. Let's look at each one carefully. G1 represents your total sales for the reporting period. This includes taxable sales, GST-free sales, and other business income. It does not mean profit. It does not deduct expenses. G1 should match the total income shown on your accounting software for the BAS period. If G1 seems unusually high or low compared to previous quarters, investigate why before lodging. Sometimes this highlights missing invoices or duplicate transactions. 1A is the GST component of your taxable sales. This is usually 1/11 of your GST inclusive taxable revenue. For example, if your taxable sales total $66,000 including GST, the GST component would be $6,000. That $6,000 is reported at 1A. This is the amount of GST you collect from customers. And remember, this is not your income, it's money you're temporarily holding before passing it on to the ATO. 1B represents your GST credits. These are GST amounts paid on eligible business expenses. For example, you paid $3,300 GST on business expenses during the quarter. That amount would appear at 1B. Before confirming 1B, you need to check: have all your business expenses been entered? Are transactions coded correctly? And do you have tax invoices for your larger purchases? Incorrect coding can either overstate or understate your GST credits. Now the BAS calculates the difference. 1A minus 1B. If 1A is greater than 1B, you owe GST to the ATO. If 1B is greater than 1A, you're owed a refund from the ATO. For example, GST collected is $6,000. GST credits are $3,300. This makes your net GST payable $2,700. This calculation is straightforward once you understand the structure. Your GST payable may change significantly between quarters. This can happen because your sales may fluctuate, you made large equipment purchases, you may have seasonal income changes, or you may have business growth. Understanding this prevents panic when your BAS amount changes. Always compare this quarter's results with previous periods to identify trends. If you have employees, your BAS includes PAYG withholding. The key label is W2, total amounts withheld. This represents tax withheld from employee wages. This money is not yours. It must be passed on to the ATO. It's important to ensure your payroll reports match BAS withholding amounts exactly. If required, your BAS may include PAYG instalments. These are income tax prepayments. The labels often include 5A, installment income, and 5B, installment amount. This amount is based on your previous year's tax position. It reduces your end-of-year tax bill. It is separate from GST and should not be confused with it. At the bottom of your BAS is the summary. This shows the final amount payable or refundable. It combines net GST payable or refundable, PAYG withholding, and PAYG instalments. Before lodging, pause and review this total. Ask yourself, does this make sense compared to my business activity this quarter? If something feels off, investigate before submitting your BAS. Before lodging your BAS, it's important to go through a pre-lodgement review checklist. This should include the following checks: confirming the reporting period, ensuring your bank accounts are reconciled, review the sales totals, review GST collected, review GST credits, confirm payroll reports, and compare to previous quarters. A 5-minute review can prevent months of issues. Some common BAS errors include missing transactions, incorrect GST coding, claiming GST without tax invoices, not including cash sales, and forgetting to reconcile your bank accounts. Small mistakes compound over time if they're not corrected. Understanding your BAS helps you manage cash flow better. If you expect strong sales growth, your GST payable will increase. A good habit is transferring approximately 10% of GST inclusive income into a separate account regularly. This helps build a buffer and removes stress for you at BAS lodgement time. After lodging your BAS, if you have a payable amount, payable is due by the deadline. If you have a refundable amount, the ATO will process that refund to your nominated bank account, and you will receive confirmation of lodgement. You need to make sure you keep copies of your lodged BAS, the GST reports used, and any other supporting documentation for that BAS. Strong record keeping protects you in case of an ATO review. When you understand your BAS, you're less dependent on guesswork. You can identify errors quickly, and you feel in control of compliance. This also reduces your anxiety around deadlines. Confidence comes from understanding the structure, not just memorizing the codes. To summarize, always check the reporting period. G1 equals your total sales. 1A equals your GST collected. 1B equals your GST credits. Your net GST is 1A minus 1B. PAYG is separate from GST, and make sure you review before lodging. A BAS is structured, logical, and manageable, especially when you understand it. Thanks for watching Simple Books with Sheridan. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe for more simple explanations of bookkeeping and tax in Australia. And remember, if you need advice specific to your business or circumstances, it's always best to speak with a qualified professional. I'll see you in the next video.